Should have a pretty darn good show lined up for you today.
We sure do,
ladies and gentlemen. Hello, first person to show up on Periscope. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We got great stuff. We're waiting for our signal to feed in through Facebook. Hint to all of you social media guys, small company owners, etc. When Facebook asks you if you want to try out a new system, their brand new interface, say no. Never say yes. Because now we are stuck. We are stuck with the new system in which we cannot trim out these long-winded intros, which we used to be able to do.
I wonder if we will be able to do once they roll it all the way out.
Eventually, but it could take months. Well, hello everyone. We have all those kinds of hello Maria. Tracy,
hey Maria,
Dawn,
hey Tracy,
Howard,
hey
Shannon,
Mr.
Carlo,
Shank.
Mario. Oh my
hey,
goodness,
Shannon.
And Samorg. I did post your picture of me dressed up like a duck, so you've got that going for you. Well,
which is nice.
We have people queuing in, baby. This, ladies and gentlemen, what we're looking at right here is a cuttlefish, aka the Cthulhu monster from hell. Those are not shadows playing over the cuttlefish. That is the cuttlefish changing its color to friggin' hypnotize a crab. I wasn't aware that crabs needed hypnotized. Also,
I mean, who doesn't need hypnotizing?
please, let's take a look at my icon in the lower right. That is clearly the best icon I have done since this whole thing started. That is a COVID
fish.
COVID
fish.
The COVID fish. There we go. Baby, are you ready to go live?
I sure am.
3, 2, 1. Hello, everyone. And
hi, you guys.
Jeez, Pete's. Let me move that over for baby. There we go. Welcome to SIGLERinPLACE. Why don't you scoot a little closer to me, baby, if you can.
Come a little bit closer.
Come a little bit closer. And then let's check your cam.
Hi, cutes.
Okay, let's do this right here.
There's something dinging.
It could be. We'll see when we find that later.
Okay.
We didn't get a chance to check the cameras before the show, you guys.
Because for the second week in a row, I spilled drinks on my way up the stairs.
Terrible.
Yeah.
So we're back to here. We have one hell of a show for you guys lined up today. Let's see. We've got empty set updates, some great ones. Plus, we're going to give you a sneak peek at the map that will ship with the GANGSTER hardcover. A's got GANGSTER. Oh, that's my phone.
Oh, see?
I don't even know how to silence that bitch.
Do this? Hang on, guys.
You guys go crazy. While she does that, I'll continue to tell you what we've got going on. We've got Siglerbrations. We've got pup dates. We've got an awesome. Apparently, there was a period of time where Reese was she just had enough. She was hitting the bottle. And she was just tapped out. She couldn't take your crap anymore. Captain Dogcott's gonna go to the bar and pound some brews.
Robbie, thanks so much. I knew I didn't know those lyrics. I didn't know.
And then we've got possibly questions. We do have junkie picks. And this week, baby, what do we got coming up on Sunday?
Episode 14 of the GANGSTER. But also we have today, this whole week, is Read Across America week.
That's right.
So we're celebrating this what do we call it? A COVID-uddlefish?
COVID-uddlefish.
Yeah. But we were going to celebrate Read Across America week. So if you guys want to send us in a picture of you reading a book, if it's a Sigler book, all the better. But any book, we would love that because Read Across America week is any kind of book. If you send us a picture of you in headphones, we'll assume that's an audiobook. But Kindles count too.
Boz, go get some sleep, buddy. All right. So also, you guys, let's be honest.
We love your face too.
I wish I could eat my food like this. This would be a great way to do it. I just sit back on the couch. And weren't we talking about this last week? That's just and then seafood, fresh seafood delivered right to your mouth.
Your face, yes.
Right to your face. All right. Now, you may be asking yourself, this is a new feature called dun, 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 dun. Hey, what's Scott wearing? What's Scott wearing?
2, 3, 4.
What's Scott wearing? It's some stuff that he will sell. Okay, so here we go. We got to look at this. This is, Kraken's football shirt. And
so
we have a whole new thing going on here. Yeah, babe?
Yeah, so we are in the midst of updating the sales of, so the inventory on the website is correct. You may or may not have your size for the t-shirt that Scott just saw, but if you don't, we're in the midst of
over here.
Marketing or building a marketplace with an sort of a print-on-demand provider. So, for example, the shirt that Scott's wearing, you can't get in a size large right now from our site. Soon we'll be able to fix that, and you'll be able to do that. So
but as you can see, this is the shirt, and coincidentally, I'm eating a cuttlefish.
Or the cuttlefish is eating you. You don't know.
One of the two. But we thought I realized that I've been wearing all of these Kraken's t-shirts, and I'm like, you know what? What kind of an entrepreneur am I that I'm missing a prime opportunity to say, hey, you can wear what's all rubbing up on my nips. Well, not this one. But you can get your own shirt and you can rub up on your own nips.
And
your
no,
own
in
shirt.
case
That's
anybody
legal.
is thinking,
that's legal.
no, you cannot buy a pre-worn by Sigler t-shirt.
Have we had people ask that?
No, but they will now because you said you can't get this one.
Everybody wants exposure to my nips. There's nothing I can say about it. All right, so now that we've seen what's Scott wearing.
And Matt, the shirt does not come with the cuttlefish. No.
No, it does not come with the color. That's sold separately. Let's go to Siglerbrations, baby. We got a bunch.
Oh my goodness, so many
for all the
Siglerbrations.
awesome,
Finally.
lovely junkies out in the world. Let's do it.
I gotta say, as a plush girl, I am always hot in July, but a lot of people were not too hot to get down to business because we have 50 billion birthdays. On Saturday, it was Katrina Brown's birthday. I'm going to show you Katrina Brown a little bit later. She has a special Siglerverse tattoo that is awesome. It was her birthday on Saturday. Happy birthday, Kat. Sunday was Abby Perrill's birthday. Abby is a good personal friend of ours. She's also the spouse of Dr. Daniel Baker, PhD. Dan and Abby were the last friends we went out to dinner with before lockdown.
That's right, before lockdown. Also, did you know he made a drink today? A very tiny gimlet, so it's a gimlet lit.
Well, yes, and I couldn't handle it, so I made a giant gimlet instead.
Well, I think that's a gim. What Danny made was a gimlet.
No.
And then he made some smaller one, which is a gimlet lit. And then if you put it in thumbnail, it's a gimlet lit.
I feel like you don't understand what a gimlet is. A gimlet is the whole name.
It's like a cutlet. It's a very small gim. It's a very small gim.
But a cutlet isn't small. A cutlet is just a cut of meat.
Well, there's a toilet. They're very small. They're not as big as an outhouse.
I don't know what's happening with Mr. Sigler, but
all right.
Here's my giant let.
All right, so we got Abby's birthday. What else we got going on?
Also on Sunday was Steve Shackney's birthday. Steve Shackney has all this art that he's been making in lockdown. I have to ask him if I can show it on SIGLERinPLACE, but it's very cool. So he had a birthday on Sunday as well.
Okay.
If you guys have been to Siglerfest, he is the guy who makes the candied shushalicks for your eating pleasure, if you can call them that. And they are quite delicious, but they're very spicy.
Bring this down a little bit.
Okie doke.
There we go.
Let's
now
see.
People can see your beautiful face.
Monday was Mario's birthday, and I think Mario's in the chat room. Happy birthday to you. It sounds like you had a nice quiet day, so that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Monday was also Matt McRoberts' birthday, and I love this because the reason I know that is he posted the next day on Facebook that he had a terrific birthday thanks to John Lashinsky. So terrific for both of you. I'm glad you guys had a nice weekend. Also, Monday was Scott's brother, Irv Sigler's birthday as well. He is known in Michigan as the younger Coach Sigler because
Coach Irv Sigler, and everybody came out and wished me a happy birthday. I'm very grateful for all of that. It was really a team effort. The happy birthday, I gotta say thanks to all the people who contributed.
There is no I in team, but there is I in birthday.
A lot of people contributed to the birthday. My mom and my dad, who had me as a child, that contributed to my birthday. So we think we're going to have a lot of great birthdays moving forward. This program of birthdays is heading the right direction.
Yeah. Happy birthday,
That's my
Irv.
impression of my brother.
We're not done, though. We have had so many. Yesterday with Nick Bass's birthday. John, are you in the chat room? You told me how to pronounce this. It's Bass. Oh, he said when he first met Nick said his last name was pronounced basket without the at the end. So it's Basket.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I was still stuck in the New Jersey. Hey, it's Nick Betts. He likes to roll on bones.
He's from like Sacramento.
He claims that. Witness protection.
Tomorrow is Angie Morency's birthday. Angie, I have only met twice, but she's fantastic. I met her once when we were in Greeley for ReadCon. I think that might be the first time I might have met Nelson too. Nelson, is that right? Is that the very first time we met? And she was instrumental in getting Scott to be a guest of honor at Denver Comic-Con.
Yep.
And she's terrific. She worked, I'm not really sure, for a nonprofit called the Pop Culture Classroom, which we've featured in Siglerism before.
We did.
Pop Culture Classroom uses pop culture like graphic novels and comic books and other fictions that are not necessarily curriculum to help readers who are potentially very interested but not very skilled up their reading levels and engage with literature. It's terrific. So happy birthday, Angie. We're so glad to know you. And this is my favorite. Okay, so tomorrow, I'm not sure if the Presses are in the chat room yet. Julie and Bruce Press tomorrow will be married for 32 years. And I don't know if you guys have met the Presses, but meeting the Presses, you kind of want to be like them. And then when you find out that they're those people and they
Yeah.
still dig each other at the 32 years of marriage and love hanging out together and traveling together, like, I want to grow up and be the Presses. I just do. So happy anniversary to you guys. We love you very much.
I want to grow up and be one of the Presses.
The last
right.
thing I have to say for Siglerbrations is so today is Wednesday. On Saturday, it'll be the first Saturday of the month. And thanks to our good friend Steve Rickeberg, he instituted a monthly junkie happy hour, virtual happy hour during lockdown. And that will be from 4 p.m. to 11 p.m. Pacific time. There's an event on Facebook. I'm sure somebody will put it in the chat room here in a little bit, but that we'll pop in and out of. We're recording the Stonewalls. We're doing a whole bunch of stuff.
We'll do a graphic for that for next time.
Yeah, and so that is from 4 p.m. to 11 p.m. Pacific time. It's a Zoom meeting, and you can go to Facebook and find it. Somebody will put it in here. If not, I will make a post about it or try and put it in here when I'm done talking. But Steve, you're here. Will you please drop the link just in case? And we'll see you there. Scott and I are recording the Stonewolves and are a tiny bit behind. We had a few slowdowns this week, so we're going to be recording on Saturday a little bit. It depends on how much your voice holds out. There are several characters in the Stonewolves.
Book is killing me.
That are very hard on Scott's throat. So we are probably going to pop in and out on Saturday. You guys should come and go. I understand that's in an intimidating time frame, but it's designed like that so you can pop in and out as you need to.
You pop in, you pop out. Nick bets, put some money down. It's all good. We love it.
So we have so many celebrations today. I love it so much. If you have anything you want to celebrate, any celebration, I don't care if it's your birthday or anniversary. It could also be you got a new cat. It could also be that you finally finished your last test in college. I don't care. It could be that you got a new car, Julene. I know you did. These things are things that if you want, you can send into Siglerbrations. We would love to celebrate with you because what else are you guys doing?
What the hell else? It's why we do this show, because of the COVID and the lockdown. So what else the hell are you doing?
Exactly.
Ladies and gentlemen, today's sponsor paying us, throwing money at us.
Throwing money.
I mean, we're throwing money at them is, here we go, baby. Hit it. Hit it, baby.
I've been talking about this in 2021. I'm starting to feature, alternate between very local things and very helpful COVID things. This is a helpful COVID thing. Can you scroll up? It's the National Restaurant Association's Restaurant Employee Relief Fund. Mm-hmm. And this is giving actual cash grants that don't need to be repaid to restaurant workers who literally have been out of work for a year because they're not allowed to work because of government mandates. And this is their advocate in this big effort is they call him a partner and industry icon, Guy Fieri. And he has recruited more than 50 companies and 15,000 individual donors. And they have helped so far during COVID, 43,000 restaurant workers who suffered financially due to COVID-19
Friggin' awesome.
Health and economic crisis. Guy Fieri also has a side hustle within the restaurant fund where he feeds first-line workers. He employs unemployed workers who work in a restaurant kitchen, in a private kitchen, to support frontline workers, hospital workers, all that sort of stuff. It's an interesting thing.
21.5 million he's raised so far.
21.5 million during COVID. He's such a good guy. There's this, Scott showed me a comedian. His first name is Shane. I can't remember his last name.
Can't remember either.
Who is like, what did Guy Fieri ever do to anybody? Like, all he did is be a good guy who has flames on his shirt and sunglasses backward on his head.
People crap on him.
And and that was before COVID, and it just goes to show you he's doing that. He's doing such great work. So if you guys have anyone in your life who's a bartender, who's a server, who's a hostess, these are people who can benefit from the Restaurant Relief Fund. So consider donating if you have any spare money.
And this coming up this Saturday, you guys. Let me switch back to the main camera, and then we're going to go, wow! Oh, look who's
hi,
there.
Tiny.
Hi, Tiny.
Hi,
How
Tiny.
you doing?
Hi, pretty.
We are going to be watching one of our favorite movies, 25th anniversary of From Dusk Till Dawn. We don't actually watch it. You all watch it on your own. It is on the Netflix, I think. No, it's on the Amazon.
Yeah, I think it's Amazon Prime.
Amazon, probably Nelson. We should always have this info. We always forget this info. But we're gonna talk about this movie. Joining us will be Empty Set movie maven and hard drinker Rob Otto. So hard drinkers, let's drink hard. Now I'm off the sauce until Friday because I got a lot of stuff to do. But come Saturday, I'm gonna crank up whatever. What are they drinking in that movie? What are they drinking in that movie?
They drink a ton of
everything.
Mexican
Whiskey.
beer, and tequila because they're in Mexico. They drink a lot of tequila in Mexico.
But we can't.
Come on with the tiny smooch. Come on with the tiny smooch.
We can't wait to talk about this movie. It's so much fun. Rob is going to bring so much info and backstory and behind the camera stuff. If you've not joined us for one of our story smacks, do I have the day right? 3-7? Yes. If you've not joined us for 3-6. Gosh darn it!
I keep telling you 3-6. Yes,
screwed up the date.
It's Saturday.
It's Saturday. If you have not joined us for a story smack, they're about 45 minutes to an hour long. They're a ton of fun. There's a lot of info that comes at you, and you get to wallow in Otto, is what I like to do. Wallow in Otto.
I'm in.
Because he knows his stuff about movies. Back to Maine. Here we go. So join us for that, you guys. It is really, really fun. Steve Compton, quick celebration. Good luck to my daughter Emma as she heads to Phoenix to compete in USA Hockey Rocky Mountain District Championships.
Congratulations, Steve. That's so
she
awesome.
Won. Okay.
What?
A trip to the Nationals.
Go Rough Riders, indeed. We do love the Phoenix Rough Riders, or whoever.
You know what that's like? That's like NFL films. The Rough Riders traveled to the Mile High City for a chance to go to the national. That's my NFL films. It's not very good.
Oh, I'm so excited though, Steve. She must be thrilled to death, and we're thrilled for you both.
She pumped up.
Yeah. Hey, right. Kim Hansen, congrats on getting the first vaccine. I have a handful of friends who the first one kind of kicked their butt. The good news is I have a handful of friends who the second one kicked their butts, and there's no overlap in my tiny, tiny sample set.
Oh, snap. Sandy Baltzer in the house. Hi, Mom.
Hey, Mom.
All right. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we've got just crazy news coming up in a minute. All kinds of fun stuff. And we sort of got ahead of the game. But what would a SIGLERinPLACE be without our favorite people in the house? They're better than they're better than Scott. It's time for pup dates. Oh, we've got pup dates.
That girl's stealing my drink, though. Come on now.
You can see on the upper right
I
corner.
am not okay with that.
Dog Cop was like, I've had it with this department. I've had it with this precinct. I'm going to the bar and I'm knocking them back. Don't call me until I come home.
Either
with a cab.
that or she's undercover and they're pouring light drinks and she's there to set things straight.
That's what she does. She goes undercover. Of course, I was drinking on the job. I was undercover. I had to fit in. Dog Cop, smack in your mouth.
I saw that Jason Patrick movie. What was that? Jason Patrick, who was
he a dog cop?
No, he was a cokehead.
Oh, that Blow?
Blow.
Oh, wow. There you go. This is my lovely Reese P. She's great. And our giant pick pup of the day is, see if I had this right. Look at this. You guys want to see cute? I almost died when I saw this. That's stinking cute. Is that one of your pictures?
Years ago. Yeah, this is probably
look at that sweet
2.5 years ago. I belonged to, lots of people have a wine club. My wine club was local to the office. I still belong to this wine club. And this...
Sandra, if you can hear us, it looks like our broadcast was paused because we were showing GIFs of... From Dusk Till Dawn.
Oh, maybe.
Must be. Dang, we can't get around that. It's crazy.
So this is them not too happy that I have gone to my wine tasting with them, and they are welcome in the shop, but they do not like that they can't have any wine.
Oh, those dogs are... Well, Dog Cop doesn't like it when you cut her off.
She's
she works
watching
hard
everybody.
all day.
She's like, if I see a single bit of food served in this establishment, I'm taking everybody down.
She's putting her butt on the line day in and day out for you people. Sandra is back. Excellent. Yeah, she can hear it. I don't know what happened there, Sandra. We didn't have any volume from Dusk Till Dawn, but it's not just about our dogs, you guys. It's not just about our dogs. What we got to talk about is it's time for the pup show. The pup show.
These are pet updates, actually, this time.
The pet show. The pet show. Not to be confused with the pet shop, boys. It's the pet show. All right.
So this, oh my goodness, this little buddy is not yet old enough to come home, but he's coming home very soon to Mike Weirs' new
little pickle,
new addition to his house. He says, we are welcoming this ball of disheveledness into our family this very week. We would love to give him a name from the Siglerverse, any book or novella. And I'm leaning towards Masal, the not too efficient, but I would love to hear any suggestions. So if you guys have suggestions and you want to put them in the chat room, I will share them with Mike just in case he's not watching.
Okay. People are saying that our audio is cutting in and out a little bit, so I'm just checking to see if we've got everything off. Is your phone
My phone is off.
Wi-Fi's off?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So let's go on to the next pet, and hopefully
So
Things will
these
calm down.
handful of next things, and I'm so sorry because, we do these scripts in advance, and Ollie Kirby had sent this in last week, but the script was already done, and he said for tonight because he could watch live. So you're going to have to watch this recorded because he's in Australia. Nonetheless, thank you so much for doing this. These are Ollie Kirby's foster kittens. He says we foster kitten for the RSPCA in New South Wales in Australia, and here are our latest 4 fosters, which we got to name. In order, this is Quentin. This is Rebecca.
It's so great.
This is Jonathan. This is Jew.
Yeah, of course, Jew comes out sideways.
Of course. And then if you click one more time, that's the whole crew together. That's the whole team.
It's a good-looking backfield right there.
I know. It's a pretty good backfield.
We threw in one linebacker because, the defensive people are going to complain. But that is great.
You don't want anybody to
Let's
complain.
take a look at this lineup again. One more time real quick, baby. This is...
This is Quentin.
Quentin.
That's Rebecca.
Rebecca's very cute.
Very cute. That is Jonathan.
John also is very cute.
And this is?
Well, we got a
little bit crazy.
Mom, we got a mixed bag of cats here. Okay, there we go.
This is Julius, a.k.a. Jew.
Yep.
And this is the whole backfield.
Very,
plus
very nice. Yeah. Very nice. And then we're back to here, and then we'll go back to me.
Yet again, you guys, if you have pets you would like to share with us, either they're your favorite pets ever who no longer are with you, or they're pets that you have, please send them in to info@emptyset, because then we get to meet all of them.
Now, you guys may, last week, we had a problem with people being in different Facebook chat rooms.
Did you sort that?
It looks this week like everybody's, what?
Yep. Yeah, you sorted it.
Yes.
Yeah, great.
It looks like everybody's in the same chat room this time. So hopefully you guys are having a little bit more fun chit-chatting with each other. I forgot to update the chat graphic, which is a bummer. So you're going to have to deal with the taco graphic. But if we start to run out of content... Did you just bump the table? That's all.
I did, yeah. I didn't move that.
If we start to run out of content, you will see us go back to the chat group so that we can ask questions. And then we're going to, like Ian's asking, we're saying, Scott, important question. Transformers, Power Rangers, or Spider-Man? Spider-Man, don't you ever insult me like that again. Do you understand? Not ever. Let's
hey, Mr.
go.
Happy.
Yep,
nice
Mr. Happy's in us. We've
too.
done
Hey,
spots. We've
Brian
done updates. It's time for Empty Set Updates and the sneak peek. We've got a cool sneak peek for you. Go ahead, baby. Hit it.
So much information in the Empty Set Update. Some of it you've heard before. We'll scoot through that. Here's the most important stuff you haven't heard
Ruth
before.
sent us some pup photos. We'll have to get
You
those
did.
up. We'll get those queued
I
up.
actually, Ruthie, I meant to email you. It's okay to publish that. I wanted to double check before I did that. But if that's okay, I will absolutely do that next week for sure. I just wanted to follow up with you beforehand. So I will tell you guys, we have so many updates for Empty Set. The biggest one is this. As of this moment, we have 71 remaining copies of the Champion hardcover. If you have been wondering if you should dive in and get the hardcovers, if you want to get an extra one just in case, who knows what, we have 71 remaining copies and then we're sold out. At this point, once those 70 copies sell out, the only thing that will be remaining is some of the copies of the starter that we have remaining. Just I think it might be 200 or less. I'm not really sure. That was a print run of 3,000 before we settled on the 2,000 print run that we could actually handle in our space. So we have a few extras of those. But I will tell you, from dealing with lots of people who have lost their collections over time for various reasons. They moved, they got divorced, there was a flood, who knows what. It is way better for you to purchase from us at cost, at $32 the copies, and the starter's $14.95 books, just in case.
Quick interruption. Scott Pond, don't go anywhere. Continue.
Because the rest of the books are much harder to get. The All Pro, we always get extras in case, things are missing in shipping or things get damaged or whatnot. We got 11 extra copies of the All Pro. That was it, 11, because there was a pallet that got damaged. So those are very, very rare and expensive, and we can't help you. We also can't help you with the MVP or the rookie. So if you have any reason, or if you know anybody who's thinking of fleshing out their thing, we have 71 copies left of the Champion, and then we're done. Since we've had so many COVID problems with the GANGSTER, we are also going to ship the GANGSTER. That's another piece of Empty Set news. We are still on track to ship the GANGSTER sometime in Q2. We're still holding our early April print. Yes?
The script says 72 copies, so we sold one between the time I printed this and this came out, so now we're down to 71. They're going fast, ladies and gentlemen. We must be insane to put them out at these prices.
And in fact, the people who bought that copy are in the chat room this evening.
Dope.
Hello, Mike.
Dope.
But I will also tell you that we are still holding steady. Southern California and the place where our printer are both headed from the maximum lockdown tier into the next lockdown tier. Like, we're getting better. That's still on track. So I have not a ton of confidence, but more confidence than I've ever had before that we are going to meet this April print date. If we do that, they'll ship in Q2. And those, because it has taken us so long with COVID to kind of get that done, those books are also, like, we've sold through almost 1,700 copies. And normally when we print a GFL book, we've sold through about 1,200 copies. So if you haven't gotten a copy of the starter or the champion, get those ASAP from scottsigler.com/shop. And if you haven't ordered the Gangster, but you plan to do so, consider doing that before we do the print run, because when we're actually posting about shipping, we sell through about 200 copies normally. And when we do that, that will almost immediately sell out the Gangster. So if you're waiting, now is the time.
Yes, and you can find that over at scottsigler.com/thegangster, and you can see the buy directly now hardcover. What you need, babe?
Then the other thing
is
we have, as you know, we are still soliciting requests for the Mount Fitzroy and Gangster reviews on Audible and Amazon. Those are super helpful to us. Of course, we partnered with Audible for the book of for the audiobook of the Mount Fitzroy. So that's super helpful. If you can leave a review, that helps us help them do their jobs, and we are good partners with them, and that's really, really good. Also, Aliens Phalanx, which is up on your screen now, is a finalist for the Audio Awards, and they sent Scott this. Come on, we got to do it.
Oh wait, that's taps. That's the wrong one. What's the Olympic theme? What's the Olympic theme?
I don't know. I was gonna do.
You know what? You know what we're gonna do? Dun 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun.
We can do Fortuna.
We'll just do the dun.
Anyway, that is an Audie finalist medallion for Aliens Phalanx. It's very exciting. It's super duper cool. It will go on our Hall of Fame. Someday we'll show it to you guys again in person, but it's super duper fun. Yeah, congratulations. This is a big deal.
We celebrate the wins. That's what we do here at Empty Set. Life is short.
Yeah.
You get a chance to celebrate anything, a nomination, whatever, making yourself a good stiff drink, everything. Celebrate that stuff, because soon will come a time where you can't celebrate anything because you're dead. You're tits up and you're dead. So you got to celebrate. Yeah, celebrate a gimlet.
A giant gimlet.
A small gimlet.
How do you say giant and gimlet together?
A gigimlet.
Gigimlet.
A gigimlet. Okay.
So also, Stone Wolf still also on track. We are recording, just like I mentioned a little bit earlier, in bits and pieces, because some of the character voices are incredibly difficult on Scott's voice, and we want consistency throughout.
Yes.
That is still slated for late Q2, early Q3. That's a novella, so it's digital only. It's ebook and audiobook only.
Okay.
Let's see. As we said, this is the stuff we say every week. Zoom, if you have students who are still either a hybrid classroom or a full everybody's in-person classroom or whatever, Scott will Zoom with classes. All that has to happen is the teacher, whichever student you have in your life, if they have an interest, the school or the teacher needs to reach out to us, because often schools have requirements. So I need to talk to them first.
All right.
But happy to do that throughout the semester. And
Okay.
I think very last, if you have anybody who's in if you have students in a school library that you would like to supply with copies of the GFL books, we sell those at a buy one, get one. So you can buy like the rookie and the starter for the cost of one book for $9.95, and then like the MVP and the All Pro for $9.95. So you can get the whole set for half off.
It's a bargain. It's a huge bargain. Coming up, I almost forgot, you guys. Holy cats. Let's switch this over. I told you there would be some great stuff for you. Let's go to the shop icon, because also using the same tab, because we're capitalists and we're pimping stuff out, we need to go to what? So, let's say you actually order the Gangster hardcover. We'll go back. I know, I'm keeping an eye on that time. We're getting there. Hold on. So say you're shopping online, you're just you minding your own goddamn business.
I shop online.
Mind your own business, shopping online, and you want to go buy yourself a hardcover for the Gangster, of which there are only 71 left, by the way.
This says 70-75 because I choose the number, and everybody gets so tweaked out about what number they may have. I always set it at this time I think it might have been 3,271. Like, it's a made up number. Don't worry about that.
We'll get to that story later, but So you're watching the GANGSTER, and you're like, hey, what do they get with the GANGSTER hardcover?
Oh,
what do they get?
You guys.
What do they get?
Oh, you guys.
Are you going to tell them? They get a map.
I thought you were going to show them.
I did ask you. I am going to show them. It wasn't this time. It wasn't a rhetorical question. What you get is I got to come over here. Okay, that was a very delayed. Boom. Here is a sneak peek at the map, which Scott E. Pond is currently hard at work on. This is a map of the Siglerverse. It will be 24 by 36. It is poster size, horizontal, very suitable for framing. This, if you are a diehard junkie fan and you want to be able to kind of see where the ships are going in the GFL and see the different governments and how everything aligns with each other, it's all going to be on this beautiful full color map that Scott has been busting his butt on. We've got some time. The timeline lists on the left there is going to list the key points in the history of punch drive, of faster than light technology within the Siglerverse, which becomes extremely important in the Stone Wolves. It becomes extremely important in GFL 7, GFL 8, throughout the rest of the series. So this poster is a very handy thing. We've got a lot of people asking, are we going to sell this on its own? We don't know yet. We haven't put time into that. We are trying to get out of the keeping product in a warehouse business and trying to move to all digital. So when we do ship print stuff, it's like boom, ship. The print run is sold out, we're done, and we never have to warehouse and ship anything again. So we'll see how that goes.
But a couple things I'll add. First, I want to say, Terry Davis, I didn't see you out there. Hello, it's good to see you. I hope you and Mary are well. Also, one of the things, we have always gotten questions if we're going to sell the color inserts in the other books individually, and we have resisted doing that because we thought we might do an omnibus edition at the end. This book will not have a 16-page color insert.
Correct.
Instead, it will have this separate shipping map. And my instinct says that the thing that we're going to do is keep this limited edition until those books are sold out. So we're not sure. We're going to talk about that. But that's what we've done for the first 6 books. And that feels a little bit right to me. That also means, which I've always said to everybody saying, can I get the color inserts? Eventually, you will really have a version of this, I think. But
when she says we're going to talk about this, means we'll either have a afternoon meeting, which is lunch, or we'll have a late work meeting, which is booze. One of the two. But now, wait, there's more. I've got, just to give you a little sneak peek on how a close-up of this map. Here is zooming in on our own solar system.
This is a good idea.
Just to give you an idea, the details Scott has put into this thing, the Scott E. Pond, that is, Pondus has put in a lot to this. We've got a shot of the Purist Nation there. Now, this is only a small chunk of the Planetary Union. It is a gigantic, sprawling area. And then the Purist Nation, where Quentin comes from, is often, I compare it to where I grew up, Sheboygan. It's very, very tiny, relatively speaking, even though there are multiple worlds. But this is pretty darn cool. And I could not figure out how to scroll around the map for you, so I'm just giving you this one little sneak peek right here. But it's color-coded, it's beautiful, and it will be not only helpful for the GFL, you guys, this map is going to be really awesome for the crypt, which we are going to be getting to in short order. Hold your questions. We'll talk more about the crypt in a couple of months. Right now I'm working on GFL book 7. I just finished a story that I am literally not allowed to talk about. I submitted the final today and it was accepted today.
You did it too.
What's that?
You did it too.
Yes, we bump it from time to time. So today I finished off a short story, some 8,500 words that I can't tell you what it is, but we are now back hard at work. John and I are back hard at work on GFL book 7. And so we're working on that, working on the map. And as soon as GFL book 7 is done, going into detail on the crypt. So you'll get more details about the crypt coming up in a little while. In a little while. So that is our big tease for the map. Where are we at here, baby?
I think we're almost down to Cuttlefish. We had a question from Shannon.
We got this week in Siglerism.
Yeah.
Let's do Shannon's questions first.
Shannon Bethany asked what we think about what's happening with the Geisel estate. And I think a private corporation is allowed to do what they want to do. They are saying like, cool, the world has changed a lot, and I'm going to take these 6 titles that fit in a world before that are not necessarily good for very young pre-readers now, or things that'll be read, and we're going to voluntarily take them out of commission, but hold on to the properties in case, And we're still going to publish 60 plus titles.
Yeah, there's still a lot of titles.
It's a completely private corporation who did that completely on their own. There is no they in this scenario. What happened is the Geisel Corporation decided that they did not want to publish these 6 books anymore. And they withheld them, but are preserving them. And I applaud them. I find there's no harm in protecting a legacy, but also protecting future minds that are forming. And I think if a private corporation wants to be socially responsible,
it's their property. It's their IP.
Nobody canceled them. There's no cancel culture. They can do whatever they want.
They can do whatever they want with it.
They didn't destroy them. They're not paying bounties to have them collected. They're not burning them. They're not doing any of that. And I think it's great. I think we are allowed to change as a human species as we understand the grievances and the discussions and continue to have those until we come to a common ground. I think it's a good thing.
So there's still an enormous amount of Dr. Seuss available out there, and wound up selling a whole lot of books for him this week. So that everybody kind of won out of that deal. So now we are going to did Shannon's question? That was the question you asked. One of my favorite things always to do on this show, aside from showing the pups, is This Week in Siglerism. A wonderful part of Siglerpedia, which is at siglerpedia.scottsigler.com. with all kinds of info. Remember, we've been doing this for 15 years, you guys. So there's an enormous amount of content out there. And one of the great keepers of that content is John Viscara. That, as you can see, John, I don't know, I still can't remember what he's saying. Bruce Press made this gift for us, and I can't remember why I made the gift, but I got John his jersey.
Because you always were talking about John saying things in Siglerism.
But This Week in Siglerism, I love this because it's on the front page, and it just gives you a throwback to what's been going on. We're closing in on 2 decades of this stuff. 2019, we were still putting out Earth Core, 3rd edition. 2013, going back to 2013, we were podcasting the MVP. And 2008, I had put out episode number 1 of Infected on this day in 2008. So that is Infected, not Infection. So after we started this in 2005, got the book deal with Random House, and part of the deal made with Random House is like, you guys, I'm glad to get money, but I will continue to podcast no matter what. So if you don't want me to podcast, don't offer me this deal. And they were like, we want you to podcast. It turned out great. And then going back to 2008 as well, looks like we must have a typo in there somewhere. But we're putting out Nocturnal, 1st edition of Nocturnal in 2008. So unless I was podcasting 2 books at once, which is why we're having such a hard time figuring out how many episodes I've done.
We did several.
Oh, did we?
Yeah.
Okay.
We did a marquee. Remember? We did a marquee and a Wednesday.
Right. Oh, that's right. Yeah, we put out well over 1,000 episodes, and John and I and Press is our hard work trying to figure out what we got going on with that. We're trying to figure out how many episodes we've actually put out. It's
Kim
a
Hansen,
little complicated.
I can totally appreciate. I would love to have more Nocturnal too. It's an interesting, crazy kind of a thing because once the properties exist, it's a little bit hard to figure out what you're going to do. And right now, we've been talking about this really intensely for the past few days because Scott, for the first time in 6 years, is maybe a week away from having to make a decision. And you guys might be like, oh, yeah, absolutely, write more Nocturnal or whatever.
Make a decision on what?
On what you're going to write.
We're writing the crypt.
Okay, I was going to lead up to that, but yes.
We just talked about it.
Oh, you did? Okay, I was looking at something else. Sorry.
You ran to the bathroom.
I might have been
talked about it. Yeah.
I thought I had a nosebleed, so I ran out when he was talking about something else, but I did not. So we are going to talk about what we're going to do next, and I think we're leaning towards the crypt, or we are leaning towards the crypt, but one of the things we have to do is decide things like this. The crypt, we own wholly, completely. We can do anything we want with it. And if we do that and it works, you get it as soon as you can, and we please you guys first. Nocturnal doesn't exist like that. Nocturnal exists in a web of people owning pieces of it, right? Yep. Like Random House published it, and we have movie, things, TV, all that stuff, right? So while he could choose Nocturnal, it doesn't mean you're going to get Nocturnal as soon as you would get the crypt, because we have to go through a whole bunch of other hoops to get it out. That said, you guys I can guarantee you that you will enjoy the crypt when you get it, and that will maybe make up for the fact that we're not publishing Nocturnal.
So now we've gone through the creative works of Scotty Pond. We've gone through the creative works of John Viscara. We've talked about the crypt. We've talked about GFL Book 6. We talked about the map. So much information. We've had dog updates. We've had Siglerbrations, celebrating birthdays,
Jumpy
anniversaries, celebrating life in
so
general.
excited for the presses.
And now,
it makes me so happy.
Now we get to, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for... I think everything's turned off. It's time for a incredible headline of the week. This is the news, all the news that's fit to print for this day, 1923. We have the... I had my voice going, but I lost my patter. Let's take a look at this incredible headline. One of my favorite species, a huge influence on the Rocktopi, and of course, the Portath and the GFL, the cuttlefish. We're going to show you a little bit of cuttlefish video in a second.
This is insane.
This is
dude.
bonkers.
This is so insane, you guys.
So this is your science news for the week. It's absolutely incredible. Keep in mind, there's already been some scientists in Japan, and we got to talk about this some other time, that they believe they have proven that cuttlefish can count to 5. So we've already got an animal that can count. Their brains are huge.
Okay, but that is not nearly as impressive as
No,
this.
this is even more impressive than that.
Because
That's
we
pretty damn
have,
impressive.
like, on TikTok and Instagram, there are dogs who have like little buttons they can press that you can program a word into, and there's a couple of dogs that are they'll step on the button that says "please."
Yes.
Out or whatever.
Do that a little bit.
So
Yes.
that's that first one that
Okay.
they can count to 5.
But
this one is
this is bonkers.
logic and reasoning. And
So the cuttlefish they've passed the marshmallow test to show they have self-control. And I'm just going to read you some of the stuff. You guys should look this up. In this case, the cephalopods were willing to forego meals when they knew that waiting meant they would be rewarded with more delicious treats, according to a new study. That makes them the first known invertebrates to show the ability to exert self-control. Now, Reese exerts self-control. She'll sniff a tree and be like, I don't want that one. I know there's another one. What else you got in the kitchen? What else you got in the kitchen, Mr. Man? That's not the one I want. But the Sepia officinalis, relatives of the squid and octopuses, are sneaky hunters and impressive camouflagers with the ability to quickly disappear in any environment. They are scarily smart. Studies have shown they have a good memory, can learn the value of different types of prey, and can use past experience to help them predict where to find food. But then this stuff gets bonkers. We always like to quote the scientists behind these things, and this is lead author Alex Schnell, a research associate in the Department of Psychology at the University of Cambridge. And, quote, self-control is thought to be the cornerstone of intelligence as it is an important prerequisite for complex decision-making and planning for the future. Not all animals share this trait, and it was previously thought that the ones that do, such as the great apes, corvids, and parrots, have long and social lives. So now we're going to talk a little bit briefly, as best I understand it, about this experiment. So in this experiment, Schnell's team swapped out marshmallows for seafood munchies. After figuring out what 6 individual 9-month-old, not fully adult cuttlefish, 9 months old is not fully adult, what they wanted to eat, it turned out they all preferred live grass shrimp the most, followed by king prawn, with the Asian shore crab coming last of 3.
I love that they use marshmallows.
Yeah, yes.
So good. Because of course they would ignore marshmallows. It's so good.
They set up a 2-chamber apparatus with transparent sliding drawers. Behind one drawer, they placed the preferred meal, such as the grass shrimp, and behind the other, they placed a less preferred meal, such as an Asian shore crab. The doors had symbols on them that indicated whether it would open with a delay, a triangle, open immediately, a circle, which the cuttlefish learned to recognize the symbols. So they're actually recognizing symbols and writing in effect. The drawer with the less preferred meal always opened to the cuttlefish immediately, right away, but the other drawer opened after a delay. In the control condition, the door with the preferred snack didn't open at all, a square. When the cuttlefish approached one chamber, the researchers immediately removed the snack in the other. Cuttlefish indeed chose to delay gratification to score a more delicious meal. Not more. It's not like one had more food than the other. Like, that one's tastier. I'm going to wait for that. They were able to delay grabbing their snack anywhere between 50 and 130 seconds. During this time, they generally sat at the bottom of the tank looking to rewards, or, my favorite, sometimes they would turn away from the less preferred snack as an option, sort of, the researchers think, to distract themselves from the temptation of the immediate reward.
130 seconds is
2
minutes plus.
And last thing I'll say, why cuttlefish evolved this ability to exert self-control is a bit of a mystery, Schnell said. This finding is an extreme example of convergent evolution because cuttlefish have significantly different evolutionary histories from the more complicated studied apes, corvids, and parrots, yet they share the same cognitive features, and convergent evolution occurs when different species evolve similar traits independent of one another. There's so much to unpack here. We're going to unpack in a second, but first, you guys, if you've read the GFL series, if you've read Earthcore, if you've read Mount Fitzroy, I'm going to show you a little bit of a little video right now. This is where I got much of the idea for the Rocktopi. Oh, hold on, see if I get this video. Did I not do that right? Oh, I see. Media source. One sec, guys. I'll get this figured out. Video,
you
boom.
Guys, what's so crazy?
There it is.
Oh,
here we go.
Oh, while he does this, I will tell you what's so crazy about this is waiting 2 minutes plus.
What'd I do?
To eat, the Girl Scout, the equivalent of a Girl Scout cookie tag-along, which for me is absolute kryptonite. That 2 minutes is a huge amount of time.
Vamp for a second, baby, and see if I can get this. Figure out what I did wrong.
And here's the thing: they don't have the same brain I have. I have a big old brain. It matches my butt.
There we go.
So yeah. So here we go. These don't even have the same brain humans have, and they waited 2 minutes. I don't wait 2 minutes for anything.
This, if you can see this guy, this is in literally changing color. They have incredible ability.
This is not shadows on him.
That is not
shadows. If you look around everything else, this is him doing that variegation.
Yes.
Or it doing that variegation. I said him. That's unfair.
It's absolutely incredible. They can change the texture of their skin. They can change their shape. I just got this snippet because we have such a hard time showing video.
You're so right. It's
you
so
guys,
cute.
You guys need to go to YouTube and look up.
Oh, whoops! Where'd you go? Yeah, I guess we're back.
They're probably asking about the picture going away. The video going away.
Okay.
You guys, do yourself a favor. Go to YouTube, search up cuttlefish camouflage and cuttlefish hypnosis. Not only can they count, not only can they do self-gratification delays, they use the colors on their body to hypnotize prey. There's amazing, that opening video right here. This is a cuttlefish using color patterns to lull the crab into not moving so he can go shump and eat him right up. They are absolutely mesmerizing species, and they, being a soft-bodied creature, so it's the Rocktopi are a combination between cuttlefish with the ability to light patterns all over their body, change everything about them, and kind of an amoeba or a slime mold where, cephalopods to some extent, like if you think of an octopus being able to, but they have fixed arms, whereas a Rocktopi can bud and sprout arms and just reabsorb them.
Yeah. Actually, Dawn asked, can they hold crescent-shaped knives?
Yes, they can.
No, the cuttlefish can.
They have. I've done a lot.
Can.
I've done a lot of research.
I feel like
and
the
they can absolutely
cannot.
hold. I know. I can prove to you because why do you think I'm missing this part of my finger?
I mean,
I lost it because of the god dang cuttlefish. No, Richard, I did not swear right there. Lost it because of the cuttlefish. I think this might be the first SIGLERinPLACE ever I've gone through without swearing.
So even far. Richard is like, I have been relegated. So I have a question.
Shoot.
Can we still do junkie pics? Because we didn't do that.
Oh my! I left it off the script. Let's get to it.
No, it's in the script. We were so excited about
so excited.
Things.
Let's go to.
But they're totally worth it, you guys. So we're gonna jump back and do some junkie pics this
Ladies
week.
and gentlemen, and real quick, give them the sale pitch here, babe, before we call these up. If they want to send the junkie pics, where do they send them to?
Info at Empty Set. Everything. Every question, everything. Info at Empty Set.
All right, here we go. I may have these out of order, baby. Sorry.
No, that's okay. I can talk to it, and they are out of order. So this is
who would give that man a baby?
Listen, actually, here's the thing. If you guys are listening to us right now and you're not yet part of the Discord group, I know Discord is intimidating. It's super intimidating to me, but I'm trying really hard to learn it. Go to the Discord group. You will see Reese, Scott's dog, dressed as Pope Siglericus, which you see Scott dressed as, you see Scott's cousin, Pope Siglericus, here on the left. Mm-hmm. If you join Discord today, or Discord, not Discard, right? Discord. Yeah. You can see Reese, his dog, dressed the same way in a picture, which includes also cousin Frankie. No. I think you can see Stella dressed as this.
Yes, Richard. There is a Discord group. Steve, if you're there, could you put the Discord
or somebody,
group
Howard,
link
you can do it too. Please put this
in there. And we're going to talk more about the Discord group. We should talk about that next week.
We should.
We'll talk about it next week.
This is actually at a Siglerfest. This is Scott's cousin, Pope Siglericus.
Pope Siglericus, yep. I don't know why anybody would give that man a baby. He's not a good pope. He's not a good pope at all.
At all. He's not even a pope. Also,
I thought he was a pope.
well, he thinks he's a pope.
Oh, yes. Okay.
But there are rules, so that's not. And so this is Charlie Russell, who was going to be not baptized, but I don't know, benedicted? I don't really know. And this is Josh Athanas, who was the translator for Pope Siglericus. Poor Josh literally had no script, no nothing. He had to stand up and whatever Pope Siglericus said, he had to in Italianish.
My cousin talks like this. You're bringing me the baby, and then like that. That's what he does.
And Josh, in this photo, look at his face. He's like, oh, okay, I guess I will try and make that. And he literally did this, I think, twice, maybe 3 times.
A couple times.
Absolutely brilliant. This was the best one because in the middle of this, we brought tiny Charlie Russell up for some abdication or something. And Josh rolled with it, and Pope Siglericus did not drop the baby, so everything was good.
Yes, very
good. Yeah,
good.
Josh did an amazing job. Okay, oh my goodness. You guys, there are 2 moments in my life at Dark Overlord / Empty Set Entertainment that I will never forget. My business moments that resonate forever. And this is the second one. This is Beth Copenhaver. If you have read Kissing Man and the Gentleman, you will
Smells
recognize
like
Beth Copenhaver's name. She is an actual human being. She's a gorgeous, lovely human being. At one Siglerfest a couple of years ago, we had a costume contest, and Beth Copenhaver chose to dress like the director of Doom. Beth Copenhaver is an absolutely gorgeous blonde. She obviously has a red wig here. You can't really see it unless you're on a mobile device and you zoom in, but she's wearing Jet's earrings and she's wearing a Kraken's pendant.
The costume was so good. I did it. I was like, who is that? No, I saw her at Siglerfest, and I went to go, because I thought it was you. I went to go out and put a hand on the shoulder, like, we got to get some more stuff over here. And then I got distracted, and it was only after I'm like, oh, that wasn't me at all. It was so fun.
So she wore a black, short sleeve, V-neck, knee-length dress, my whole MO.
That's
a red and orange a red and orange boa, a Jet's earrings, a Kraken's necklace, red hair, glasses. It was so perfect. I was like, who is that?
It was great.
Like, who is that? So I love it. And I love that you added this to the options. She won first prize that year. We don't decide on the prizes, but I do think that she was well rewarded.
I thought it was well deserved.
And it charms me. The other moment in my work life that I have no words for is at the very first Siglerfest. I was kind of managing the whole event because I was an event planner. That's how we kind of met. Mm-hmm. And Scott thought, oh, well, I can't help her during the day. I need her to have, kind of a somebody who can go do whatever. And he hired Benjamin Press, Bruce and Julie's son, and they decided that he would dress like Doctor Who is one of my favorite fictional characters on Earth, the entire day. Mm-hmm. And he did that. And I was so floored I couldn't even say anything, which, if you know me, is an incredible feat.
What do we got here? We got this, and then, I know these people.
Of course. So
that's my mom and my dad.
Yeah. This is the Siglebowski Siglerfest. Bruce took this photo. We are leaning heavily into the the presses today because tomorrow is their anniversary. Bruce took this gorgeous photo. This is old Coach Sigler, Coach Irv Sigler, and Carol Sigler, the inspiration for, on the left, Hokor the Hook Chest, and on the right, Ma Tweedy, who is named Carol. This is Irv and Carol Sigler with their son Scott at Siglerfest, the Siglebowski Siglerfest. It's a gorgeous photo. And look at Ma. Look at Ma. Ma is all like, okay, I'll take this picture because I love these humans. But what are we doing?
They spent a lifetime dealing with my personality. And then, of course, at Siglerfest, I am amped up to 11 all the time on full display.
All the time.
And you can just see the swagger there. And they're like,
Coach,
oh, my God.
Look at Coach's face. Coach is like,
he's got to say something. He was so into it. It was so great.
Like, we're going to need to get these people some 7-Up and some water.
Mom was like, Scott, do you really have to swear that much?
It's a beautiful
thing? Yes, Mother, I have to swear this. That's my job. That's my job.
But I'll be honest. It's such a beautiful thing to see how Scott and his parents love each other as all adults. You know, Scott is a full-blown adult. They no longer take care of him. And yet they are such a crazy, beautiful, interactive thing all together, all it three way. It's a beautiful thing. And if any of you know the parents, or any of you were lucky enough to know Coach Sigler, I think this is a big reason that Scott is the person he is. So I love this photo. I love that Bruce always takes such gorgeous photos.
Oh, I think we got one more, baby.
Oh, yeah. So this, I mentioned earlier, Cat Brown's birthday.
It's awesome.
This is Katrina Brown's, Scott's autograph tattoo.
Yep.
And she drove from Las Vegas to L.A., and he signed that on her shoulder at like 2 a.m. And then she went home, and the next day she drove all the way home to L.A. Las Vegas, and she went to a tattoo shop in Las Vegas with that ink still on her, and she was like, "Can you please ink this up?" And this is the result, and it's still on her shoulder.
It's incredible. It's so good. I almost want to get my own signature on my shoulder. You know, that'd be a little bit of hubris, though. I think just a tiny bit.
Little. It might be a little. You also have to sign your own shoulder.
Well, I guess that's a good point. But you could figure that out. All right, so let's go back to main, and then we're gonna switch back to the main camera, and I believe that's it, sweetheart, isn't it?
I do think that's probably it. If you guys have any questions, we're happy to answer them. We got 5 minutes before we're done, but I think that's all
questions.
we have to talk about.
Do you have a question queued up?
I do.
All right. I'm not saying we've got
With
questions.
some knowledge.
I've got knowledge to throw back at your face. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go with our questions. We're in the lightning round day. Hit it.
So Sean Dyer sent this in recently. He asked, so obviously, there are a ton of intentional connections throughout the Siglerverse. Are there also a lot of intentional red herrings?
Oh, of course. Yeah, that's part of what I consider to be my art form is, number one, when you pick up a book, you watch a TV show, you watch a movie, you're not going to be that surprised by a lot of things because you're picking up a book, watching a TV show, watching a movie for a reason. Like if you see Iron Man is on the cover of the DVD you bought, which I'm trying to think. Iron Man's on the thumbnail of the movie on Netflix, you know when you see Tony Stark going into a cave, you're like, he's probably going to become Iron Man right in here. It's not really that surprising. And a lot of that is because cliches work for a reason. The reason you see cliches and repetitive order of events is because they work time and time and time again. So sometimes you get annoyed as if you're like, oh my God, I guess the girl's going to fall for the guy. And like, yes, because that is what people want to see and that makes money. But out of all of these commonplace structures, there's a lot of easy to grab handles, like the girl meets the guy and they're going to ride off in the sunset together, that you don't even think about anymore. You just see it and your subconscious catalogs it and you're sort of enjoying other parts of the story while you know that these things are going to eventually come to fruition. So what I do a lot is I try and take a lot of those subconscious handles that you're used to seeing, and I sort of give you one thing so you think you know where things are going. Then I tend to give you a second thing. So like, I see what he did there. He gave me that thing and that was a red herring, but this is the real thing. But this thing is also a red herring. And then I usually go to a third thing. So it's hard to put into words, but there's basically a whole structure in place and a lot of this flying by the seat of the pants within the framework of an outline. But yeah, I play with red herrings all the time.
A couple more questions before we go. I forget who, but somebody asked what time. Oh, David, you asked what time Story Smack is on Saturday. Story Smack starts at 2 p.m. and ends sometime between, I'm going to say 3:30 and 4 probably.
Yeah.
And the happy hour, the Sigler Junkies happy hour starts at 4. So you have your whole Saturday planned out if you're still in lockdown. It's going to be great.
It's going to be great.
Also, Kim asked, when did you know that you wanted to write full time?
The moment I always wanted to write, my bio says I wrote my first monster story in 3rd grade and haven't stopped since. It was, yes?
Can we hear that story soon?
Yes, we can hear that story very, very, very soon. Maybe even next week. I don't know. We'll see. No, 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, we're gonna play a little bit of that. The first horror story I ever wrote back in the 3rd grade. So when I figured out I want to do it for real, there were 2 separate moments. Number one, went to see the 76 King Kong with my dad, which was a big moment for us because it was the first movie I went to with my dad in movie theater, just us. And the original King Kong was the first movie he'd ever gone to with his dad, when it's just 2 of them going to movies. So it was a real big moment for the Sigler men. And I watched King Kong, and I was friggin' terrified. I was 7, 8, I don't know. And as this tiny little kid, and then when Kong starts banging on the fortress door and the bamboo's flying, I was crying. I wanted to go. Like, Dad, get me out of here. I'm terrified. And he laughed because we'd paid money for it. So we were staying. That was all there was to it. And we stayed, and I pretty much cried the rest of the movie. Was terrified. And then while we were walking out, I'm still like wiping little boy tears away. And we left the theater, and I asked him when we could go see it again. And so that was the first moment in my head where I'm like, well, you can have this, you can be scared in a safe way, and it's very fun and okay, and there's a thrill in that. So I was like, okay, I kind of knew I wanted to do something involved with grabbing people in that fashion and scaring them. Then the other part of it is, great, my parents come up in this, of course. The other part of it is my mom, every year for Christmas, I got my mom the new Stephen King book and the new Danielle Steele book. And one year it was 4 seasons. I can't remember. It was a Stephen King novella anthology. One of the stories was Cycle of the Werewolf, which wound up becoming the Gary Busey movie Silver Bullet. And I was reading this, and I wasn't Stephen King yet. I was kind of young. I just opened it up, and as I'm wrapping up presents, I just happened to read the first page, and I'm like, oh, I'll keep going. And so it's a pretty short book. I wound up reading the whole book, and my mom came into the room twice, and I had here's the door, and then here's my desk, and I faced the door, and Mom came into the room, and I was like, hey, Mom, and I put the book under the desk, and I'm sure she thought it was like porn,
oh, no, I know for sure. I asked her.
Like that. Oh.
She was like, I thought he was looking at porn, and he should have been looking at both. Like, she's the best.
So I read Stephen King, and then that was the first Stephen King book I read, and I realized I put those two things together, and I was like, oh, I can scare people like Stephen King is scaring me, like King Kong scared me, without having to do this whole movie production, all this really complicated stuff. It can just be one person in a room by himself cranking this stuff out. And that was the moment that I pretty much settled on what I wanted to do. And then I went to college for journalism so I could practice writing, because everything you do is about reps. More reps, you get better at everything, the more work you put in. And then once I graduated and went to work in newspapers, I was already hard at work on like, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to find a way to do this full time. And luckily the last 15 years gone pretty good.
Good. I know we're past 7. I have
Okay.
2 things. Yes, Squeaks is in jammies because it's raining here today, and she had to go out for a walk and got wet, even though she was wearing a raincoat. And so she's in jammies because she's tiny, and she was making noise in the back.
She's a sweet little pickle is what she is. She's a great girl. I love you.
I want to make sure we see this. Jonathan Timms just joined the chat room to say, you know you're junkie when you've tuned in at 3 a.m. UK time.
Oh, come on, son. That's
Having-
how it's done, son.
Having just finished Mount Fitzroy.
Oh, yes.
Masterpiece, FDO. Now to binge the GFL before I allow myself to hear the gangster. Jonathan, you are our people. I have a dog in pajamas.
Yeah. And then
to
look
celebrate.
at Dr. Daniel Baker, PhD, had to weigh in. One person in a room by himself cranking it out is definitely a euphemism.
Well, yeah.
Well, thank you for tuning in at 3 a.m. I'm delighted you got to join us live. It's always very fun when we get people in here, and it's a great time. I'm glad. I think we're about done, aren't we, sweetheart?
I think we are, yeah. It's 7:02.
7:02, our time. We have told you about very smart cuttlefish who know how to read, count to 5, delayed gratification, and the cuttlefish are not in a room cranking it out by themselves because they have delayed gratification. That's not a swear word, Richard. Yes, I'm getting out with no fines, no fees. What's up?
And Mario, I hope that you did have a terrific birthday, and I really hope that one of the Monkeys teachers, we would love to talk to one of the Monkeys teachers.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Especially.
I'm in.
That'd be
I'm in.
Really, really special.
So let's go to our closing phrase. Now, A and I have been doing this show for a year, and we have yet to get our closing stuff correct. And guys, it's written down. It's written down. We never get it right. So here we go, baby. You ready?
Yes. So if you have anything to share with us, either to share on SIGLER-in-Place or just in general, please email info@emptyset with all of your content ideas for SIGLER-in-Place, all of your questions for SIGLER-in-Place, all your questions about anything else or nonprofit sponsors that we could think about. That is info@emptyset, and I cannot wait to hear from you. Squeaky also cannot wait to hear from you.
We will be back Wednesday, March 10th. 2021, and we'll be celebrating National Pack Your Lunch Day, which means A is going to pack us bagged lunches, which we will open up on the show. She didn't know this till just now, but we're absolutely going to do that.
Oh, no, that was my plan, because I actually even said LOL forever in the comments, because
I haven't had a
bag lunch.
I haven't had a brown sack lunch since like school. This is going to be so much fun.
And nobody packs a lunch in 2020 or 2021, let's be honest. And until then, We need you guys to stay safe.
We want you to stay smart.
Oh my goodness, we need you to stay science.
And for the love of science, switching back to the main cam, we want you to stay informed. Yeah, we got through the whole thing. Sweet.
Yay!
All right, now we're going to give you guys the big kiss off into the sky. We used to have a delayed thing, like I would hit off and then it would wait and it would hit yes, but now it just goes away. So we're going to see what we can do. Ready? We love you all. We'll see you on Saturday to go over from dusk till dawn, and we'll see you the following Wednesday. And we love you.